Hello dear viewers and welcome to RTD's English News Edition. Let's take a look of our top stories. And a visit of 2 days for the Ethiopian Prime Minister to Djibouti. In the Middle East, Mike Pompeo signals hard line on Iran. Thank you for joining us in our newsroom. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali left the capital of Djibouti after an official visit to our country and lasted 48 hours. It should be noted that the Ethiopian Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed Ali held talks with the head of state, Mr. Ismail Mergele, on the bilateral cooperation between Djibouti and Addis Ababa. He also concluded several agreements in several fields. This is the first abroad visit of the Ethiopian Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed Ali after his election as Prime Minister. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Mergele, had today Sunday at the Palace of the Republic a one-on-one with the new Ethiopian Prime Minister, Mr. Abiy Ahmed, on an official visit to Djibouti since yesterday. The meeting between the two leaders is the main step of the new Ethiopian Prime Minister. The state of relations of friendship and cooperation between the two countries and the two people, the ways and means of developing them, as well as to develop the already privileged links between the two nations, and the identification of new sectors of cooperation between the two states after the recorded success of several economic integration projects were mentioned during this meeting. The Ethiopian Ministers of Foreign Affairs, Defense, Transport, Communication, Mr. Workney Kebe, Mr. Motune, Mr. Siraj, Mr. Ahmed Shide participated in this extended working meeting. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the Minister of Economy and Finances in charge of Industry, Ilyas Moussedwali, the Budget Minister, Mr. Bod Ahmed, the Minister of Transport, Mohamed Abdul Qadir, and the President of the Port Authorities and Free Zones of Djibouti participated in this hearing. The Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to the Democratic and the Federal Republic of Ethiopia, permanent representative of our country to the African Union, Mohamed Idris Farah, also took part in this meeting. After the brief one-on-one, the two heads of states jointly chaired an extended working meeting to their main collaborators. During this meeting, the head of state and the Prime Minister of Ethiopia exchanged on various issues related to Djibouti-Ethiopian economic integration, but also commitments in the determination to further consolidate the strategic partnership between the two countries and the two people in various sectors of cooperation. And let us recall that a large delegation composed of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Transport of Ethiopia, the Ambassador of Ethiopia to Djibouti, and others from the Djiboutian side, the head of diplomacy, the Minister of Finances and Economy, the Minister of Transport, and the President Authorities of Port and Free Zones, and the Director General of the Djibouti Railway took part in this extended meeting. The Ethiopian Prime Minister in his address thanked the head of state and the people of Djibouti for the reception he received. Let's listen to him.
When we raise some example as social relations, Ethiopia and Djibouti have deep-rooted and multidimensional historical cordial relationship. Since early on, it appears that history and has dictated that the two countries are bounded together. We share border, we share culture, we share language, we share blood. So socially, there is no way to see Ethiopia without Djibouti or Djibouti without Ethiopia. We grow together, as well we die together. Our relationship from early on tells the strengths, and the commitment from the government and the public is very, very crucial, and we're working to enhance the relationship we had before. Politically, Ethiopia and Djiboutian political relation still is based on trust and a win-win approach. I'm not starting the relationship. It was there. It was very strong. My role is to enhance and to upgrade the relationship in all dimensions. Another compelling example is Ethio-Djiboutian commitment to assist the people of Somalia in their search towards a peaceful, cohesive, prosperous country. We have been working in many of our regional security issues. Both countries have been deployed their troops within the auspice of AMISOM to help the Somali National Army fight against Al-Shabaab. On the other hand, on the political across the Red Sea in the Indian Ocean towards the Gulf crisis, Ethiopia has maintained a neutral stance, preferring a non-partisan approach, because this region requires peace and stability. Without realizing peace and stability, the dream we have for economy, for development, will remain namely only. So as to mitigate the risk, we took a very mature and wise stand when crisis happens along our regions. To mention some examples on economic issue, there were bilateral level promoting economic growth. The governments of Ethiopia and Djibouti have been collaborating in multiple fronts, from linking via railway and road networks to water and gas pipeline and several frontiers. We have been working in all basic infrastructure together. Now, I am appealing to Your Excellency, assuming your port as if we are using Djiboutian port, we are asking to have our own shareholder, to say our port, not Djiboutian only. From our side, we are inviting you to choose any public, big, historic institutions like Ethiopian Airlines or telecommunication to have your own share. Let's expand our relationship to the next level. Let's say that's our telecom, this is our port. Let's defend it together. Let's invest together. Let's intermingle and connect our people together. Then the enemy will take great lesson out of it. So my hope, as you are a wise, senior, and a very seasoned diplomat, you will make a practical difference in our region, mainly on connecting us an economy, infrastructure, cultural, social. In all dimensions, our relationship will be a best example for the rest of African countries. This is my hope, and this is my invitation. I'm sure we'll do it. Thank you very much.
The head of state in his intervention spoke of the excellent relations of partnership that exists between the Republic of Djibouti and the Federal Republic of Ethiopia, and this determination to go ahead to complete a regional integration but also be an example for the region, also the continent of Africa. Let's listen to the head of state for more information.
Dr. Abiy Ahmed Ali, Premier ministre de la République fédérale démocratique d'Éthiopie, messieurs les ministres et délégations éthiopiennes et djiboutiennes.
I would like to express our pleasure to welcome you here to Djibouti, in your second country. I would like to congratulate you on your recent inauguration as Prime Minister unanimously by the Ethiopian Parliament. The inauguration is a strong testimony of the confidence and enthusiasm you have aroused among the country's political representatives, but especially with the great Ethiopian people. Your dynamism and your experience of the politics of your country and your charisma are all qualities which inspired the Ethiopian people and its authority to take the reign of this great country and to guide it toward a new horizon of peace, stability and prosperity. Be assured, Mr. Prime Minister, of your unwavering support as well as of my government in fulfilling the heavy mission entrusted to you. We have the Republic of Djibouti and Ethiopia has indestructible and immeasurable links that are formed on historical basis made of exchange and sharing, but also fusion. Our two countries have in common a social, linguistic, cultural legacy shaped by the permanent contact between our two populations. For more than a decade, our two countries have decided to build together by striving for an ambitious economic integration that has unquestionably brought these fruits today. Thanks to this strategy, which focused mainly on cross-border infrastructure, our two countries have been able to experience continued growth.
The head of state later in his speech said without peace and security, any development in economic prosperity will be impossible. He renewed his commitment to contribute more to the promotion of peace and security throughout the region. Once again, let's hear it from the head of state.
Connaissons tous ces défis qui relèvent pour certains des facteurs endogènes, tels que la faiblesse de nos ressources.
We all face challenges that end up for some of the endogenous factors, such as the weakness of our resources in terms of both human and capital investment. At the same time, however, there are exogenous factors in the world's trading system, or these attempts to interfere, which often hinder our progress forward. It is absolutely essential that our two countries pursue their common course toward economic integration as a whole. That before the post of a regional integration more broadened in this respect, it is important that our two countries strengthen their collaboration in order to allow a better harmonization of our economic policies, then to the implementation of our various agreements which concerns all areas of cooperation. As you know, we cannot achieve sustainable growth and overcome our national and regional challenges without the prevalence of peace and security, both within our countries and in our regions, unfortunately known for its stability. If the commercial and economic link as well as the numbers of infrastructure projects that connect our countries surely give us a significant advantage, we know that we cannot live in an autarky. Our region is plagued by insufficient stability, particularly in Somalia and South Sudan, which monopolize our attention and mobilize many of our human and material resources. We also remain confronted to the phenomenon of terrorism and violent extremism, which constitute serious threats to our security.
And during a press briefing jointly organized with the Djibouti head of state, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia has talked about the existing bilateral relations between the two countries and their common desire to move toward regional economic integration. Let's listen to him.
First of all, I would like to thank His Excellency Mr. President for such a wonderful, warm, welcoming and hospitality. On the issue of my vision, we have held a very excellent bilateral discussion so as to enhance our economic integration from the level where it is today to the next highest. Simply the vision I have, which I have shared for the President, is to feel the pain of Djiboutian in economy, social and political, from Djibouti side as well, to feel our pain in our economic move, in our political move and regional security. We have agreed, we have such a big vision to realize together. I am sure we will make it practical from now on. Thank you for the question. We have discussed to enhance our cooperation both in economy as well peace and security. We both underlined the importance of working together on peace and security of the region is crucial for our next move. We have emphasized that peace and security and the stability of the region is very important to achieve our economic dream. So we will have new ways to improve our cooperation on peace and security as well. As you all aware, we have been working on regional peace and security under the IGAD framework. Also bilaterally we have been working on Somali, South Sudan. We will increase our cooperation to realize peace and security in our region. Without peace and security, our dream of development will be left namely only. So as change that, we have very serious discussion and we have agreed to work together on peace and security.
And during the press conference, the President of the Republic of Djibouti has welcomed the Prime Minister of Ethiopia in Djibouti. The head of state emphasized the excellent relations between the two countries, and he said, want to further enhance these relations up to the next level for the benefit of the well-being of our two peoples. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali, on a 48-hour official visit to Djibouti, visited the National Assembly on Sunday, April 29, to meet the representative of the people of Djibouti. Welcomed with the pickets of honor of the National Gendarmerie, the distinguished guest was greeted at the entrance of Parliament by the President of the National Assembly, Mohamed Ali Ahmed, who was accompanied by the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed. In the hemicycle, the visitor found the right words to express his feelings of friendship and fraternity to the people of Djibouti. In addition to the elected representative of the people and the members of the government, the representatives of the diplomatic and consular corps accredited Djibouti, the representative of the non-governmental organizations, the prefects of the capital and the regions of the interior of the country, the presidents of the communes and regional councils, as well as senior government officials attended this event. In his speech on the occasion of the first visit of Dr. Abiy Ahmed to the Parliament of Djibouti, the President of the Assembly, Mohamed Ali Ahmed, welcomed the Prime Minister and his delegation to the Republic of Djibouti. The fraternal ties between the two countries are not old and have crossed the time to strengthen its pride for all of us, he said. The President of the Assembly congratulated the first Ethiopian the Prime Minister for his recent election as Prime Minister, and he added that the modernization and diversification of our exchanges in many fields make our two nations a model of economic integration exemplary for all the states of Africa. The leadership and political vision of the President of the Republic of Djibouti, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, constitute of our two states a reliable foundation for the achievement of our common ambitions, he said. The Prime Minister of Ethiopia spoke to the representatives of the people to thank the President of the Republic of Djibouti, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, the government and the brotherly people of the Republic of Djibouti for the warm welcome that was given to him in his delegation since his arrival from Djibouti. Let's listen to him.
I feel honored to address the National Assembly and its distinguished members, and through you, honorable members, the entire people of the Republic of Djibouti. I would like to seize this rare opportunity to thank the President of the Republic of Djibouti, His Excellency President Ismail Omar Guelleh, the government and the people of the Republic of Djibouti for the warm welcome accorded to me and my delegation since we arrived here in the beautiful city of Djibouti. Honorable members, as you all know, our historic relationship stands as an example not only to the IGAD members countries, but to the entire continent of Africa. Ours is a unique relationship between one and the same people living in two sovereign neighboring countries, whose common destiny is intertwined through a long history of fraternity, mutual trust, and respect. Our relationship has been solidified through time because of the shared vision and unflinching commitment to foster economic integration. Excellencies, honorable distinguished members, ladies and gentlemen, our bilateral relation is witnessing an encouraging momentum in all aspects. We have anchored our cooperation on a solid foundation. We have put in place important instruments such as the Joint Ministerial Commission to help us deliberate on multitude of issues of mutual interest. Our development endeavors in the construction of roads, utilization of ports, railways, telecommunication network, and power links also contribute to the economic and social well-being of our peoples and facilitate regional integration. In fact, our levels of integration and economic interdependence serve as an example to the other countries. We are linked by fiber optics, road, rail and air transport. As well, I must not forget the old good camel, which still serves as a four-wheel transportation. These mechanisms contribute significantly to the improvement of the livelihood of our people. Our two countries work closely in fighting challenges of regional stability and bringing peace to the troubled region with the IGAD framework. We are playing our part in important peacekeeping operations and leading reconciliation efforts in major hotspots. Honorable President of the National Assembly of the Republic of Djibouti, dear brother Muhammad Ali Hamoud, I thank you, and indeed I thank all the distinguished members of the August Assembly in giving me the opportunity to share and connect with you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
And on the sidelines of his official visit to Djibouti, Ethiopian Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed Ali has today visited the poor infrastructure of the Republic of Djibouti. The visit was accompanied by the Minister of Transport and Equipment, Mohamed Abdul Qadir, who received upon their arrival the multi-service port of Durali. The Ethiopian Prime Minister received the detailed explanations of the services provided by the port's infrastructure of the Republic of Djibouti and the facilities that have these facilities equipped with latest equipment, modern and sophisticated. The Ethiopian Prime Minister also visited the new free zone and was received by the Minister of Transport and Equipment, Mr. Mohammed Abdul Qadir, head of free zones and authorities, and Mr. Abubakar Omar Hadi, as well as officials from the free zone authorities. The Ethiopian Prime Minister visited the railway station, which is linking Djibouti to Addis Ababa, and the Minister of Transport and Equipment also visited various facilities that comprise the station. And this visit is the first by the Ethiopian Prime Minister, Dr. Abiy Ahmed Ali, after he was elected as Prime Minister. And shortly after his arrival last night for his 48-hour state visit to the Republic of Djibouti, the new Ethiopian Prime Minister was the host of a gala dinner held in his honor. The dinner brought together some of the political elite of the two countries and many other guests. A few words were spoken during this pleasant and relaxed atmosphere.
دولدا مطاناهم نبيو ونقجعلو كلا مرني بانهاي أموت ونالي ميا قلت سوريا مدنا متاجو ومرحبا بكم ودنا متاجو ومرحبا بكم
قرتي النعيب شحار قعدت صيدينو محيب ضيقريدا
أحلى مني كي لا بلقى أحلى مني كي لا بلقى ولا غيرك انت ما بقى ولا غيرك انت ما بقى أحلى مني كي لا بلقى أحلى مني كي لا بلقى ولا غيرك انت ما بقى
وطفات لوي سو اكتي Barimo ya bara ay gabahat kasini keke ya bara ya hoye hame ya bara ahi badai laga ya he gabahat kasini keke ya bara ayabdiu to sini keke ya he
The Prime Minister of Ethiopia thanked the head of state for this magnificent reception and reminded that the leaders of the two countries are working together for the economic development, progress and prosperity of the two-sister nation. Let's listen to him.
Excellency, Mr. Ismail Omar Gule, President of the Republic of Djibouti, Excellency Ministers, Excellencies Ambassadors, and members of the diplomatic corps, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank my elder brother, President Ismail Omar Gule, for his kind words. I know my elder brother will never be short of kind and generous words to express his friendship to Ethiopia and Ethiopians, as he has a personal experience drawn from his days in Redoa. Let me express my heartfelt appreciation and gratitude to Your Excellency, dear President Ismail Omar Gule, and the people of Republic of Djibouti for the warm welcome and generous hospitality extended to me and my delegation since our arrival here in the beautiful city of Djibouti. I feel that it is only appropriate to pay my first official visit since my assumption of the post of premiership of my country to very special and close neighbor, Republic of Djibouti. It is indeed an honor and privilege for me to be among us friends as we share this gracious hospitality. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, with this visit, we want to further strengthen our existing bilateral ties to new heights. We have to jointly explore new opportunities and avenues of strategic partnership to speed up our economic integration. Huge opportunities exist to both Ethiopians and Djiboutians to be major players in one of the fastest growing economies of our continent. Mr. President, let me also take this opportunity to personally convey my appreciation and gratitude to you for your unwavering commitment to promote common understanding between the peoples of the two countries who are bounded by history, culture, geography, friendship, and familial ties. We are both.
And for its part, the head of state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Gule, has in his speech welcomed the Ethiopian Prime Minister and his delegation. Let's listen to him.
Minister, your visit will give new impetus to our joint efforts to strengthen our fraternal and friendly relations for fruitful and mutually beneficial cooperation. I have no doubt that you are motivated by the same desire to strengthen these already exemplary relations in so many fields. For the past decade, our two countries have been committed to economic integration, which has already borne fruit in many areas, particularly in the infrastructure sector. Thanks to the new railway line and to the other significant infrastructures as roads, water, electricity and fiber optic interconnections. The Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and the Republic of Djibouti are closer to each other as they have never been before. My country is determined to continue its effort towards this economic integration, which can only be beneficial to the two countries in particular and to the region as a whole. I wholeheartedly hope that the friendship and the long-standing Djibouti-Ethiopian relations will continue to thrive by feeding on more intensive and rewarding commitments. In conclusion, allow me to express my best wishes for success, good health and well-being to Your Excellency and your family, and wish the brotherly people of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia further progress and prosperity. Long live to the brotherhood and friendship between the two countries and between the Ethiopian and Djiboutian peoples. Thank you.
And now other news of this edition: sports. The football finals of the 11th Youth Games of the French-speaking Indian Ocean countries won by the island team. The Reunions won this final after an endless series of shutout sessions. The kickoff of the football finals of the 11th edition of the Indian Ocean Games was given by Mr. Hassan Mohammed Kamil, the Secretary of State for Youth and Sports, and his counterparts from the host countries. The final opposed the island of Reunion to the club of the Madagascar and kept it all promises. The Reunion team defeated Djibouti 2-0 in the semi-finals, and the Malgache eliminated Comoros 1-0. In addition, the two finalists offered an excellent match and dazzled the audience at Gullit Stadium. During the first half, the Reunion opened the score at the 40th minute by their number 10 Luka. After a few chances and more, the referee whistled the halftime over the score from 1-0 to the advantage of the Reunion. Back from the locker room, the match is another dimension, and in the field, the players of the two teams gave the best of themselves. The repetitive attacks of the Malgache gave their fruits, and thanks to their number 9 Rendria, they managed to equalize in the 40th minute in a tie 1-1, and finally the island of Reunion came out victorious after a long process of kicks. The meeting finally won by Reunion finally won by 6 shots of 5 succeeded by the Malgache. And launched last April 20 in the presence of the head of state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh at Gullit Stadium, the closing ceremony of the 11th Youth Games of the Commission of Youth and Sports of the Indian Ocean closed last night. In addition to the Secretary of State for Youth and Sports, Hassan Mohammed Kamil, the ministers or officials representative of Mauritius and Madagascar, the Comoros Islands, attended the ceremony. In this large state first event, and that began the musical entertainment, followed by the traditional parade of delegations. The parade gave way to the descent of flag of the Indian Ocean Youth and Sports Commission, while resounded the hymn of the Games. Then the flag was given to the Mauritian Minister, Maurice, being the next country to host the 12th CJSOI Games in 2021. In his speech, he first thanked all the Djiboutian authorities for the organization of the 11th Games and invited the Djiboutian to the 12th Games. As for the Secretary of State, he thanked the participating countries for their behavior and fair play, which reflects the cardinal values of the CHISO. He finally wished good luck to Mauritius for the next Games before closing the 11th of the CHISOI Games. The medal ceremony took place in the presence of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sports, the Minister of Commerce and Mauritius, the French Ambassador, and the General Secretary of the CHISO took part. The Secretary of State for Youth and Sports has in his speech thanked the participating countries for their behavior and fair play. And on the news outside our borders, Syrian regime rebels reach agreement on evacuation in southern Damascus. Hindi Ibrahim has more to tell us.
In Sutam Damascus, the Syrian regime and the rebels have reached a deal to evacuate opposition fighters from an area of Sutam Damascus near the site of regime offensive against militants.
In the Middle East, Mike Pompeo signals hardline on Iran. Let's listen to Hindi Ibrahim.
Mike Pompeo on Sunday have a warm post of support to Israel in its standoff against Iran, saying the United States is with Israel in this fight. Pompeo has been using the Middle East League of his first time abroad as America's top diplomat to call for concerted international action to punish Iran for its missile programs. The third line was welcomed in Israel Israel, which considers Iran its greatest threat and has been leading calls for the international community to revise its 2015 nuclear deal with Iran. He arrived after visiting Saudi Arabia, another fierce rival of Iran.
And this is it for our latest news. Have a great evening, everyone.